Welcome to Ghost Stories, the podcast that highlights the amazing people and things going on at Kaukauna High School, the home of the Galloping Ghosts. My name is Aaron Herm. I'm the proud principal. If you've been out of high school for a while, you might wonder sometimes, what are schools doing these days to prepare kids for the real world? Where are kids getting those real life experiences that are going to actually be practical and that they're going to use in their future careers? And today, I am so proud to highlight one of the prime examples of something that we've got going on here at Kaukauna High School, and that is our Civic engagement class. It's a class for juniors and seniors who have been recommended by their teachers, and they take on leadership roles in real projects that really impact our community. The three young ladies that I have joining me on the podcast today are working on a very ambitious project at Greeno Park here in Kaukauna. They are looking to turn that park into a winter destination for Kaukauna and the entire Fox Cities, complete with a warming shelter, a skating rink, updating the sledding hill with a tow rope, and a lot more that could actually be used year-round. So in today's episode, you're going to learn about what goes on in civic engagement class, what's going on with the Greeno Park project, the lessons that students are learning by participating in a project of this magnitude, and also how you can help contribute to the Greeno Park project to make it a reality. So enjoy today's episode. All right, who am I here with?
Marley Sanderfoot,
Lily Wendt,
and Oriana Geithner.
All right, happy to have you here, and you are all part of our civic engagement class, correct?
Yes.
Tell us what civic engagement is.
Civic engagement is just a class where we all work together to help our community, and there's a variety of different groups that work on different projects that just benefit our community and help us work together and learn good leadership skills.
Awesome. Do you have examples of what are some things that civic engagement has worked on in the past?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, something we do is we help families during holidays who can't quite afford all that the holidays entail, and we do food drives and haunted hallways, and we run a lot of stuff for homecoming, so fundraising for wing eating and things like that.
And also with civic engagement, that's not a class that just anybody can get into, correct? You've earned your way into this class. Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, so at the end of our junior year, we kind of talked to Mr. Voreg. Only a select few people are able to join the class. It's not just something that anyone can join, because we want people with leadership qualities and the ability to lead these projects in the class.
Yeah, it's also people who just have a strong work ethic. So Rorig knows those students are going to get things done and be on task. And we also had to get teacher signatures to prove that these teachers have had us in class and know that we're strong workers.
Yeah, because during your fifth hour class, you're doing things like going out into the community. You're actually talking to people, right?
Yeah, for example, recently we've been on the news about 2 or 3 times to talk about one of our projects, and we also sometimes have to leave the building to go on meetings at the city building and other things like that.
Yeah, and that requires a certain amount of trust. So the project you were on the news for, I think that's the main reason that we're around the table today and that we want to talk, right? What's the big project?
So our big project is the Greeno Park project, and our goal is to build a warming shelter, ice skating rink, and sledding hill to bring our community together and bring tourism from all around Outagamie County so families and friends can enjoy this fun attraction.
So that's a huge project. How does this conversation even start? How did this get started?
Yeah, so this project started in 2021 with just an idea about what could we bring to the community that would get more engagement, because the students in that class said that there's nothing to do during the winter, and if there is something to do, you have to drive 30 minutes. So they just started with an idea, and it kind of built off of that with looking for sponsorships, getting approval from the city, and that's when it really started rolling.
So with that project, you talked about some pretty big ticket items. You talked about a sledding hill, you talked about even a warming shelter, so a permanent building. It's got to be expensive.
Yes.
Yeah, very expensive. This project altogether is costing us $1.5 million, which does seem like a big amount, but we already have raised $650,000, so we're on our way there.
So for a high school class to raise $650,000, and you have some to go, but to raise $650,000 is a pretty big task. How was that done?
We have been applying for several grants. We have been meeting with many people. We have a lot of sponsors already that are helping us with this project, like Kakana Utilities, Beige Engineering, Community First Credit Union. So a lot of our project just entails applying for those grants and emailing many people about what we can do to get more money to help support this project.
Yeah, and though it may be tedious to apply for grants like every day over and over and not hear responses, it's also been teaching us like a ton of business skills about like learning how to send professional emails, and then when they respond, meeting with people professionally, talking to them about the project and trying to convince them to donate to this project or get involved in any way that they can.
Yeah, so one of the things that we have done is like me and Lily at the beginning of the time we were selected for this project, we had to go to Kakana Utilities and ask for a donation, and we ended up getting $25,000 from Kakana Utilities. But we've also had like meetings that people have come to the school and talked to us for, which has helped with connections to other companies. And we have upcoming meetings where we'll have to go talk to people like the mill and things like that to build our connections.
How do you prepare for a meeting like that?
We just discuss everything that the business would be interested in knowing about this project and coming up with slideshow or presentations that will give them all the information they may need to consider this project.
So my impression of this, I haven't spent much time sitting in civic engagement, is that this is really students, right? Mr. Rarig is he at those meetings with you?
He attends some of the meetings just because he knows more about the project since he's been working on it for around 5 years. But
yeah, because our last meeting, he wasn't there. So our last meeting was all of the people involved in it and sitting on a computer on a video call with 2 people and having to discuss it by ourselves. So it's not always with him. And then our emails are all from us, like scheduling and preparing for it is all us.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the things, obviously he's there to guide you, but I think one of the things that makes civic engagement so cool is the fact that it is so student-driven and the skills that you get to take with you on that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Walk me through, what is it like to sit in a meeting as a high school student talking about this ambitious project and you're there asking for a significant amount of money, like $25,000 to donate to this?
Yeah, it's definitely nerve-wracking, obviously, because of the fact that we're talking to professionals and asking for a lot of money, but it's a lot of like getting your cool, being confident with your speaking, because you don't want to be nervous when you're talking big numbers and you want to look professional. So it's a lot of planning and a lot of like preparated questions to make sure you have everything laid out.
yes, and thankfully all the people we have met with so far are very open and kind about learning about this project, and they're very interested in helping us make other connections and introducing us to other potential sponsors.
Being part of a super supportive community definitely makes it easier, right?
For sure.
Paint a picture for us. Like when this thing is done, what is the experience going to be for people in Kakana and beyond?
For people in Kakana and beyond, we hope to just bring more people to our community and like specifically the city of Kakana, because the city has so much potential. The Greeno home, more like specifically, has that giant hill that we just want to make people more attracted to that area. And since people have to drive 30 minutes just to get to an activity that they can do in the winter, such as like Titletown, we want something more local that people can do during the winter.
Yeah, and this project alone is supposed to bring around 70,000 people alone in the winter time. So something like this is just bringing attraction to our community, like our small businesses, and getting more publicity for them too, not just us. So that makes it seem like more of a community project rather than just an us project.
Yes, and this project is not only specific for the winter, but it can be used year-round for the soccer fields that will be there under the ice skating rink, and the warming shelter can be used for a variety of classes. There's competitions that want to be held there by golf frisbee and kayaking groups, and even like knitting groups, yoga classes, or school classes for teachers to teach more about the Greeno Mansion, because it's hard to teach a large group of children at that home. So they can teach them more about candy making and other things about our community.
And one other thing I'd like to add is that this experience can be a free experience. You are allowed to bring your own tube and walk back up the hill all by yourself. But if you would like to pay to use our tow rope to get back up the hill, that's where the price would come in. We also offer ice skates for ice skating, but you are also allowed to bring your own ice skates to ice skate on our rink.
We'll also have tubes to rent if you don't want to use your own tube or don't have one available.
So once this is up and running, who runs it and where do those proceeds go if somebody uses the tow rope or, rents a tube?
So the city will be taking over the park after it is all up and running, and they will find people to run our concession stand and keep it open. And the proceeds will go back to the city since they are running the
facility.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. So that's just another way. Not only are we creating an experience for Kaukauna and beyond, but the money goes back into the community to enhance the community even more.
Yes.
That's pretty cool. So it blows my mind that a class here at Kaukauna High School and the people are sitting right in front of me who are actually working on something, who are going to help make a winter destination, not only, again, for our community, but I foresee people coming from the Fox Cities, coming from, Green Bay has Titletown, but how much does it cost to go down that hill? Do you have any idea? It's not cheap.
No, I think it's
more than I was willing to spend.
Around $30.
Yeah. Right. So I think what a cool, accessible option that you're creating for people, but again, also the community. This is amazing. How can people help?
We have a GoFundMe page on our Facebook where people can donate, but also we would love help from small businesses to support so we can give you recognition for that. And when people come to our warming shelter, we have options to buy plaques so people can see how your donation was being well used to help fund this project.
So you're doing donation levels and then you get a
Yes.
different plaque and things like that. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, so basically the plaques are shaped like snowflakes, and your size snowflake is based on your donation. So there's a $500, $800, and $1,000 snowflake plaque, and there's a variation of different amount of characters per plaque based on the size so that it's fitting within the plaque. But if you pay that amount, you get your plaque within the building to get recognized.
And this can be for businesses to show their support for that, but also in remembrance of someone if a family would like to do that for a loved one.
That's cool.
Yeah. And we also have bigger sponsorships where you can buy the rights to the ice skating rink and have it named after your business. So right now, the Nelson Family Foundation has purchased our warming shelter so that their name will be on that building.
Very cool. How can people find out more information and stay up to date on what you're working on?
Yeah, people can stay up to date through our various social medias. Our main social media that we use is probably Facebook, and we have also gained some traction in our TikTok account, which is where majority of students kind of learn about us and what our project is about.
Sure.
And then we also have an Instagram account, but that doesn't have as many updates. So Facebook is our main social media where you can get all the information and all the updates.
And if you want to get more information, you can go to our website. That's greenomountmajesty.com to learn more information and see more about the projects.
Okay. What are the Facebook and TikTok and Instagram accounts called?
Yeah, so our Facebook account is Kaukauna High School Civic Engagement Greeno Park Project. It's a group and not necessarily an account, so you can join the group and be a part of it.
Okay.
And then I'm pretty sure our TikTok is KHS Civic Engagement.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So earlier you mentioned you've already raised, or the Civic Engagement class has already raised $650,000. Do you have any donors that you want to thank that have contributed to that?
Yeah, our biggest donors is the Nelson Family Foundation, who has donated $250,000 to this project. Fox Cities Visitor Bureau has also donated $200,000, and a cool one is Unison Credit Union has donated $75,000 to have their business's name printed on the tubes.
Yeah, our Kaukauna Utilities with $25,000, Community First with $10,000, Beige Engineering, which did our whole blueprint of our building for $50,000, and Elks Club with $1,000.
And we also want to thank our GoFundMe donors, including Gregory, Margaret, Michelle, and Margie.
So obviously, as you and the students before you who have been part of this project have gone through, you're not necessarily experts on how to design a building, how to put in a tow rope, how much things like that cost, right? That had to come from somewhere too, in addition to just getting the funding to do the things. Can you talk about how this process all played out?
Yeah, so a lot of the companies that do like material cost and engineering, they help us figure out how much these things cost and what it would look like. So one of our in-kind donors, Base Engineering, did all the engineering and the layout of our building. And we have some other potential sponsors that are helping us estimate costs for the building and labor, which we wouldn't know, like raw material costs.
A lot of information just from professionals in those areas where we might not know as much has been very beneficial, especially when they're willing to come in for a meeting, talk to us about this stuff. They give us a ton of information that we can use moving forward to reach out to either those interested in doing in-kind donations or other businesses interested in sponsoring.
Yeah, and they help us like understand what's appealing to businesses rather than what we just think is appealing.
Yeah, it's just nice to see other people who, like, this is their profession. It's very insightful to see their viewpoint on everything, and they have just very good, like, contacts and insights for us.
Yeah, and this not only helps us with our project, but this also can help us with our future career plans, understanding how business works and how entrepreneurship works, and having good public speaking and confidence when you're speaking about something, a topic that you are working on. So this will help us with future endeavors and college.
I get really excited about that part too, because, I think for people who haven't been in high school for a long time, you wonder what are high schools doing these days to prepare kids for the real world. And this is about as real world as it gets.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, putting us right out into the real world, talking to people who are already in their professions to help us better understand what we want to do with our professions.
They teach us this whole class has taught us essential life skills that we'll need moving forward. It helped make us more professional in many aspects of our life while we're also learning academically.
Yeah, to add on to like the professionalism of our speaking, I learned better words to use when conversating with people who are more important within the business fields, and not using terms that I would necessarily use around my peers.
And not only that, it also helped kind of gain a more optimistic view of just like this project and like life in general. Because when I first heard about this project, I was thinking like, that's a lot of money to raise. No way we're going to reach that goal. And now our vision is kind of coming to life through all these sponsorships and opportunities.
Yeah, it's really neat to see how many people buy into what you're doing and want to be part of it.
And I'm very
cool.
thankful for all these businesses that believe in us, because I feel that as high school students, we are underestimated, but we worked really hard for this project. The past high schoolers have worked super hard for this project, getting this idea created and just trying to make it a reality. So I'm very grateful for everyone who believes in us and is willing to donate and help us out with this project.
What a cool experience. And then when it's done, you will always have this place in Kaukauna that you can point to and say that you were a huge part of that.
Yes.
That's pretty cool.
Another thing I wanted to mention is just how beneficial this class is, and being in this class, all the lessons I've learned and all the skills I've acquired from being in this class.
Yeah, and this is a class I would promote others to take if they feel as though they have a strong leadership role and want to express that leadership.
So if you were going to give advice to an underclassman in regards to civic engagement and getting ready for civic engagement and being able to be a good civic engagement student, what would your advice be?
My advice would be being open-minded. You never know what could happen. Not everything is always looking as promising as it could be. So having good patience and a lot of confidence within your own work can help you be a good student within this class.
Yeah, and it may seem terrifying at points to take on these large projects, but the students need to know that in this class, you all work together and you all help each other out on projects. No one's ever just sitting back doing nothing. You all will benefit each other and help your peers wherever they need it.
Yeah, I would also say that there's a job for everyone, even if you feel like you're not very strong in public speaking or having business meetings. Everyone has a place, and everyone will find a job and a role in this class.
So how do you do that? Because is it really learning what each other's strengths are and like capitalizing? Like, what does that look like?
Yeah, I think this class has also taught me like everyone has their own strengths, just like you said. Many people like I don't know. Like this class just like really helped me kind of find like how like I am myself and learning my own strengths as well as learning other people's strengths and how that all contributes to one big project.
Yes, because each student has their own strengths, and we've discovered how those strengths can work together to help us succeed the most and work together in the best ways.
Yeah, and you don't necessarily know all of your strengths before you enter a class like this, because I have learned that I am fairly good with public speaking, and I have learned that I am able to be like professional in front of people who are important in the business field, and those are aspects of myself that I didn't know before this.
Well, thank you for sharing about civic engagement, for sharing about your project. And then one more time, promote. Where can they find information about your project and how can they help?
So you can find information about our project on our Facebook, which is Kaukauna High School Civic Engagement Greeno Park Project, and also on our website, which is greenomountainmajesty.com. We also have a TikTok account, which is KHS Civic Engagement.
All right. And if you're a business owner or you know any business owners who might be willing to contribute, businesses have been super helpful in all of this. But every little bit counts, right, on the GoFundMe and things like that.
Yep.
And if you don't remember all of that, feel free to just contact the high school and we will make sure to connect you with the right people in the civic engagement class.
If you want to contact us at our Gmail, it's kaukaunahscivicengagement@gmail.com.
Perfect. All right. Wanted to repeat all that stuff. A little repetition never hurts. So thank you all for being here. Really appreciate your time and good luck as you continue moving forward with the project. I'm excited for you.
Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. All right. I want to thank Marley and Lily and Oriana for sitting down with me to talk about that project. How impressive is that? What a neat thing to be a part of, not only down the road when they're going to have the opportunity to look at the finished project and say that they were a part of it, but also right now and the lessons they're learning here at Kaukauna High School to make that project a reality. So I hope you enjoyed this month's episode of Ghost Stories. We come back every month during the school year with more great people highlighting great things happening at Kaukauna High School. Remember that you can follow our podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, and wherever you get your podcasts. Just look for Kaukauna Ghost Stories. And until next time, as always, it's a great day to be a ghost.